Hey yo, how's it going out there? Got these. They're freaking great. Little C-clip. You just squeeze it together, hold the whole thing. Like that. I don't know if you can see that, but right there. Holds it. Hey, what up, Ray? What's going on, bro? I really should be wearing gloves. It's harder to work with this kind of stuff with gloves on. Got all of these sharp slivers of metal poking at me. Now these gauges are just for transportation. You're not going to live in these gauges. Put them in here. Take them to the auction. And they'll go to their whatever home, whoever buys them. Pretty sturdy. Just gotta put a lid on it. That'll be that. Yo, Ray. Yeah, I'm making these are gonna be cages to transport chickens and turkeys, chicks. You know, not adults. Little birds. So put them in these cages just to transport them. Move them from my house to the auction, and they'll be in the little cage just long enough for them to travel over there, get sold, and then travel to the house of whoever buys them. I've got a whole lot of baby chickens and turkeys that I've been hatching and raising. So now, not too bad, right? And then I gotta do, I'm not gonna use this right here for that, but just to give you an idea. This is heavier gauge, I'm using these for the bottom. But I have a lighter gauge that I'm using for the sides, and I just cut the top like this, attach it with the clips, and then put some zip ties on the other side. But I'm not going to close it up yet because I got to put a cup in here so they have water. It's too hot to transport these birds without, having water. So that's it. One, mostly done. So that's what I'm doing. Save these little pieces, another little thing. I've got one that I made already. This one's a little more square. You can see that this one's more of a rectangle. That's because that was the last piece of that I had. That was kind of like that. So I can still put here, 6, 7 birds in the air. Big enough for them to lay down, stand up, move around and stuff, and they're not too crowded. Like I said, it's just for transportation. And these are a little bigger, they're a cube as opposed to rectangle. So this is a heavier gauge, that's why I use it for the bottom so it's stiff and hold it together better. Can't use as I can with the material that I have. Tomorrow morning, gotta take them to the auction. need to have like 4 hands to really do it. That's why I got ways to cheat. There we go. Clip it there. That way I don't have to hold it. Work on the other side. Stretch it out. And clip it just above where you need to cut it. I only got 2 hands, so this piece. It's kind of got a little louder in here. I turned on the other fan. That's it. Now, obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but this is the side, right? For this cage. This is the bottom. You see how tall that is? Most of my birds are not that tall. So this gets cut in half. And you got to remember, too, that I'm not attaching this all the way at the bottom. I'm attaching it up here at the lip. So that gives me, you know, a couple of inches to spare. So I got this cut to length. Now I just need to cut the height. I'm just going to cut it in half, figure out where half is. So that's 18 inches. Cut it right about there. Can't cut it on 9 because 9 is right where that cross wire is. So I'm going to cut it right above it. And that's good enough. Gotten pretty good at raising chickens and incubating, hatching the eggs, especially with the turkeys. In the beginning, I wasn't so good at hatching the turkey eggs. I didn't have a pretty good hatch rate with them. It's gotten to now where I've got humidity dialed in really good. So I've got a coop, or not a coop, but I got a brooder full of little turkeys. And I got a few more that are a little bigger, a little older. Now with this, I could do it in the corner. Don't like to do that because I prefer to do it like this on the side and then wrap around and connect it from the other end on the side as well. I got 2 different kinds of clip, and I'll show you the other one when I get to it. These are the secrets right here. They're very easy to use. You know, just slide it into the little pair of pliers there. You see that right there? And it holds it. Just a little piece of metal. how, show you like this. That's a little C-clip, just a little bent piece of metal. I mean, there's different sizes in the kit that I bought. And just slide it in there, in between, squeeze it, and try to show you that, but it squeezes it shut so it holds it. And do it that way, do it this way, do it that way, it doesn't matter as long as it holds it. I like to do it this way, diagonally, so it prevents it from sliding. If you put it like this, up and down, that's going to slide sideways, you know. If you put it like this, horizontally, it's going to slide up and down. So diagonally, if you can, it seems to work the best. Pull it over, tight, make that bend. Stretch it over. Put it straight. Get that other bend already. Got it over. First one I made, I was putting these clips on the corners. It seems to work better if you put it in the middle like this. And measure it. I swear I did. You saw me measure it, but I've got some overlap. That's fine. Overlap is good. That means I can attach it right there in the middle. And it'll be stronger. Overlap right there. And this one, the one on the bottom, got as many of these. There we go. There. There we go. Another one made, or most of them made. Still gotta make the lids for these. But the lids are easy. Just cut a square, attach it. Right? Right. Clips look like this. Let's see if I can show you a little better. Come on, focus. Focus. Too close. There we go. That's about as good as it's gonna get. So that's what they look like. Okay. Get a side shot. So, like that. Got 3 prongs. It's bent in the middle. Called an M-clip, I think. So, M-clip have their own pliers. No special pliers. It looks like a regular plier, but it's got a little cutout right here in the middle. So what you do with these, you get a little piece of wire right here. Right? So you do these, you slide them in like that. Right? And what I found is that if you slide it in and squeeze it a bit, so that it holds it in place, it's a little closed. You grab the pliers and put all three prongs and the bottom of it in those slots that are cut out of the plier, and then you squeeze. Ideally, it's supposed to squeeze those prongs closed. There we go. Right? And there you go. Like that. I'm the horrible cameraman. But it's supposed to look like that. Now, these are great, probably, for a cage or wire that has a bigger gauge, bigger holes. Because it's a pain in the butt trying to use these to connect these pieces together. I tried it on the first one I put together. Not worth the trouble. Too much work. It's finicky, fiddly, and you almost have to have three hands to do it, right? If you're working with bigger gauge wire, bigger holes where you can go in there and maneuver the way you need to, these will probably work great. Not good for this application. The holes are too small. You can't get the plier in there. You can't get the angle right. You keep slipping, sliding. The stupid clips keep falling out. So, as much as I would love to use them for this, because I did buy it, to test out for this project, not worth the trouble, not worth the time. I'm not going to throw them away or send them back or anything like that. Because I can use it for other stuff. But the little seat clips work really well for this. But keep in mind, I am by no stretch of the imagination expert in anything that I do. I learn as I go, figure it out, make mistakes, break stuff, all the time. Like my tiller for my tractor. I didn't know any better, and I treated it a little roughly, and both of them were good. So I'm going to have to, at some point, take the time to take it apart and weld some of the pieces that go together. If you have a homestead, if you have a little farm or something, you're going to become a hoarder. You have to. You got to what you have, what you can. So you don't throw anything out, because you just might need it and you'll be able to use it for something else. So you tend to accumulate bits and pieces of all kinds of stuff. And, I've been doing this, or trying to do this, or pretending to do this, that's a better description, for a couple of years now. And I found that is very true. Bits of wood, pieces of metal, bits of pipes, plastic pipes, metal pipes, pieces of chain link fence, all kinds of stuff. At some point you might be able to use it for something else. Even broken tools. Well, there's two reasons behind that. Broken tools is because you delude yourself into thinking that someday you might have the time to fix it. Or you might, go online and watch a video or see a manual or reread the manual or something like that. Figure out what's wrong with it, fix it. And sometimes it's not a delusion. Sometimes you actually, figure it out and fix it. I've done that a couple of times. But a lot of times it just sits there collecting dust and rust, soaked in its own juices or grease or oil, waiting for that fateful day when you have the time, the knowledge, the tools, lights for this. Not that I think that there's anything wrong with it, but I think the whole idea of homesteading has been emphasized so much that people get into it not knowing what they're going to get into it. They have this idea of doing it because of all the videos that they watch, all the videos that they've seen online, and, tell them, it's good living, and it's clean living, and you can feed yourself and your family and live off the land and, go off the grid and know where your food is coming from and what it eats and how it was made and all of that. And that stuff is all true. But unless you're independently rich or, you manage to buy the property and the house and the equipment and everything else and still be without debt, then you're going to have to work a full-time job. Or, if you have a partner or a spouse or something, one of you is going to have to work a full-time job. Because there's no other way to do this. And if you're working a full-time job, guess what? You're not going to be able to do everything that you want to do because you're not going to have the time. There's just no way to do it. There isn't. I tried. I've been trying. Still trying. I haven't given up yet. But at some point you're going to have to realize that there's only so much that you can do. And when that reality hits, it's going to be very heartbreaking. At one point, this whole thing, I wanted to just, the heck with it. I'm just going to walk away from all of this. I've had enough. I can't do it. I'm tired of failing. I don't have enough time to do what I need to do. I don't have enough time to take care of what I need to take care and what I need to fix and all of that stuff. Right? Right. So after I had that moment of realization, I decided to dial it back a little bit. There's not enough time, not enough hours in the day. If I had more people here to help, I might be able to do like that. Alright, so let me show you the perfect application for those other clips. Put these two together. Together, that I mean, I could put a third one in there, but it's not necessary. I'm not putting bison in these chickens. I'm not going to hulk up and burst out of these cages or something like that. Just like that. Pitter patter. Let's get her done. Let's get at her. That's from one of my favorite comedy shows. It's a Canadian comedy show called Letterkenny. You've never seen that? Letterkenny. You should. I think it's funny. So. My wife doesn't think it's that funny, but I do. It's freaking hilarious. But I will warn you. I know sometimes they speak Canadian French in the show. But what I am going to warn you about is that if you're going to watch that show, you're going to need to have it with subtitles on. Because it's not so much the dialect, but the way they talk and how fast they talk makes it very hard to keep up with them. I guess unless you grew up in Canada, because I can't watch it unless I have subtitles on, even for the English stuff, because they're going so fast, and then you gotta kind of try to figure out what the slang that they're using is, and how they're using it, and what it means at the same time. And it sounds hard, right? It sounds like a lot of work, but I still think it's funny. Line up, damn it. Line up. Line up. Yeah, a little more overlap than I. They have one of these secret ones, and even some different designs, like hand clips, crystal clips, or whatever. They have like a dispenser, a spring-loaded dispenser. So you load the dispenser, and you don't have to. I'm loading them individually as I go. They have ones that I saw where it's spring-loaded, so you just do what you gotta do, go working, clicking, you don't have to stop and individually load them by hand like I'm doing here. And I suppose those are cool too, but I was worried because the load clip sticks out. So it sticks out at the top of it at an angle. And I was worried about being able to maneuver and getting enough access with that thing sticking in the way. So that's another reason why I didn't get those, because I thought about it. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool. That's very practical and efficient, The clips are included, and you just load it up like you load a stapler. But unlike with stapler, it's not recessed. It sticks out. The clip sticks out of the side of it at an angle away from the body of the pliers. So that's why I didn't get those. this. Then I'm going to put another carbonated close. There we go. Like that. My camera, my makeshift tripod. Yeah, the camera is just attached to a piece of 1x2 being held by my portable plant. So it's not a tripod, but it does the job. It's like everything else in the job. And of course, the fire will do what you got. That's the lesson, kids. Never throw anything away if you have a homestead or a farm. There we go. Another one done. So, a little slot on the side, just a little, like that. Okay. And the reason I cut that is because I'm going to fold the bottom up, like we saw the other ones. So it's going to go like this, go up to the line where it's cut, and bend that, like this, and take a little hammer. As close as you can to a 90-degree angle. It doesn't need to be perfect. I don't think it needs to be perfect. I joke around that motto or farm motto, the words that we live by is that's good enough or that's close enough. So let's get it to where it works. Don't worry about the rest. Go. That side is done. Now I've got to do the other side. Again, go to that line. Bend that. Taps near the corner. Get close to that 90 degrees. Like that. The other side. Bend these little tabs sideways. And what I've been doing, get it over there at the corner. Do the same thing. Give it a few taps both sides. So get that to like close to the 90-degree corner as you can. Watch those short metal spikes sticking out. Don't poke yourself like that. You've done many times already. Tabs. Then the last one. Okay. There it is. So, using it. everybody's having a good day, having a productive Saturday. Thank God it's Friday, right? Looking forward to the weekend. Got any big plans? Well, as I said, maybe me sort of take my birds to auction. So my big plans for the weekend is tomorrow. Taking my birds to auction. Nice place too. Not too far away from here. The other place I've been going to was like an hour and a half away. And I was, in my truck. That's a hell of a haul. That's a lot of gas. So what I was making on the birds that I sold was not worth the drive. No way. Plus, they did their auctions on Friday nights, which meant that I had to come home from work because, again, I work a full-time job, right? And rush to get all the birds loaded and packed, and then get out there and really amount of deal and sell my birds. Just a hassle. By the time I got back home, it was like 11 o'clock at night. And I wanted to go late because she worked. And she got out a little later than I did. So she'd have to leave work early on Fridays if she wanted to come with me. So, again, not worth the drive. It's paying, you pay a lot for gas. Long trip, an hour and a half each way. But then I found this place that's only like 45 minutes from my house. And it's really nice, really convenient. I can't say that I'm making more money than I was making before. Well, I'm making more money than I made a couple of times. Say that. But I've only been there one time so far. And that's because we wanted to go and check it out and see how it went. So we went to the birds. But this time, we are going to load up. Take a lot of I think we do something regular. I want to do a lot more than this place. Okay. 6 cages so far. Not too shabby. So then what we're going to do is we have some cups that we bought. Like cheap plastic cups that you get, or like some dollar store or whatever. And what we did the last time, which worked out really well, is we burned a hole in the side of the plastic cup, 2 holes in the side of the plastic cup, and then we zip tied the cup inside the cages. Because they need to have water, hot water. And it worked really well. We're going to do the same thing again. Alright, for those of you watching the same time, I'll be right back and drink some more. livestock auction. Very nice. Really clean. The people over there were very friendly and very helpful. With their life, I've been there before. So you know how they did things, you know. So they helped us get set up. That's pretty cool. Just like that. Tap into the sharp edges while you're there. Yeah, I mean, look at that. You can see the metal sticking out because of where I cut it. So while I'm here, tap those down. Okay. Get there in the corner. Try to get to 90-degree angle. As close as possible to a 90-degree angle. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to be good enough. Not perfectionists here. Not by a long shot. And there we go. Yes, I know it doesn't sit square on the table. It doesn't have to right now. This other one doesn't sit square either. As you can see, I've got to put the sides. It sits pretty flat. If I put the sides on that, it'll sit a little flush. Pull from all sides. Cages that I'm making are pretty tall. They don't need to be that tall. My birds are small. Look how tall that is. Right? Compared to my hand. That's just the top of it right here. So they don't need to be this tall. I mean, they could have been that tall. Most of my birds are small. But I started with that height, so I'm going to just keep going with that height for now. Next time I'll make it shorter. And I also don't want my birds to be uncomfortable either, you know. I want to make sure that they have enough room to move around. know, they have that little attachment that you can buy to put on your drill. It's called a nipper, I think. That might work on this. That'd be cool. So, I know that I've seen them using it to cut sheet metal. Very sturdy, very difficult to remove. My recommendation, because of the way I cut it, right, this side is shorter than this side. So what I did was I clipped it on too high and I wasn't going to be able to come across on the short side. So my recommendation, because I just learned it the hard way, is to start on the short side. That way, not put it too high. There. Because this is a lighter gauge metal, so it's very wiggly. The metal is wiggly. It wiggles. Wow! 29 people are watching. That's awesome. I've never had that many viewers. Gotcha. There you go. All right. You know, I really should have counted how many birds I have. I don't even know. I don't know how many birds I have. I don't know how many cages I need. So I'm just going to make a whole bunch of cages. And hopefully I have enough. If not, some of my birds will have to wait to go the next time. For those of you just joining, I am making cages, temporary cages, to transport my birds, chickens, turkeys, to a livestock auction. They will not live in these cages for temporary. We will transport them and we'll cut some cardboard, put on the bottom of these. They're not standing on the metal. Not that that would hurt them. The holes on these are very small. So it's not like they fall through or anything. But, you know, I feel like we're talking too much. Quicker than that. Another one, mostly done. Now I still have to make the lids for these, and I will. But that'll be the last thing, you know, cutting the bottoms, making the sides. The lids, we got a square, put it in place. Seven of them. I see them over there. Those are all of these. They're pretty big size. My birds are small. We don't need all of this height, like I said before. Doing it so that they're comfortable. And so that the cages are nice and sturdy, so they don't fall apart while they're traveling. I also bought ones that are called M-clips that are not as good for this application, but they do work really well for certain things. Like, for example, I'm going to make some hinges right now, right? So we can lift this cage like this. So the M-clips, they have their own special pliers. Like this, here are the M-clips. There's just 3 little prongs. I don't know if you can see it. Little prongs like that. And the way you use them is to slide them in. The way that I figured out how to use them anyway. So it wasn't easy. I was flipping it off quite a while the first time I tried to use it. Slide them in like that. And what I did was not drop it. All I did was squeeze them shut with the pliers a little bit. Angle them, put them in there. And the plier has these little, see that hole right there? That's where the clip is going to go, right? The bottom and the top of the clip. So put it in there. You can see that, but holding it like that, and you squeeze it shut. Bend the clip, curls it around the metal. I could use the C-clips for this as well, and it would work, but I bought them, so I might as well use them. You see what I mean? Like, I can barely get the pliers in there, so they're not good for this kind of stuff. They're probably good for bigger gauge wire. There, hold it in place, squeeze this shut a little bit just so that it holds it, doesn't fall out, and you get it in, and you squeeze it shut. You got a hinge, like that, those lips, that works. Like that. Not too bad, right? I mean, it is. But see, you got a closer view, right? Got my fingers in the way. So the clip goes in there like that. The camera's not focusing too well. But you can kind of see it in there. It's got to stand up like that. What you're going to do is, the metal's going to be in there, the wire. Just squeeze it as hard as you can. And it's going to curl along itself and make that tube of metal. Like that. And there you go. It worked pretty well. they are to use, I'll use them somewhere. I'll figure it out. Make them cages or whatever. They might be good for using a chicken wire, like to put chicken wire together. You know, might be really good for that. But I'm thinking of buying another coop. I'm gonna need to, rather than chicken wire, I'm gonna turn on my other coops. So I'll try it out. I'll try it out on data. See how well that works. Definitely have more room with the chicken wire to be able to get in there. Get that done. Cooperate, please. Please cooperate. Suppose if I get more practice with them, be able to use them easier. So far, how fiddly they are to use. Fiddly. Fiddly. Clicks. And then there. Couldn't help that. Wire perfectly lined up. Harder. Come on. Really? go. Alright folks, I'll be back. I will be back later. Y'all have a good night.